Hello, friends. I'm here to talk about, I think, the most important aspect of tent camping, the sleep system. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the Nemo Tensor insulated, regular wide, 25-inch wide. This is the REI Helix, 24-inch wide, and this is the Thermarest Neo Loft at, I think, 26 inches wide. I'll double check that. Anyway, this is mine that I've been using, the Nemo Tensor, for the last year and a half, and I love it. It's a great pad. It's 3 inches thick, 3 inches thick, and 4.6 inches thick from left to right. And I just bought these two to compare. I was thinking I have an injured shoulder, and so when I roll over on that shoulder, it is uncomfortable and or hurts. But so during night, when I'm sleeping, I think it is part of the reason why I don't get a good night's sleep. I don't feel well rested in the morning. There are so many variables to talk about with the sleep system and that affect your night of sleep. How much air are in the cushions? Is it too much or too little? When you blow up the mattress and put as much air as you can in them, makes them very firm, so you're further off the ground, you have the most insulating factor, but for me and my shoulder, it's less comfortable. And they're quite firm, which, depending on how you like your sleep surface, you may like a firm or extra firm, soft, mattress. But when you let air out, although it's more comfortable, then when you sit up on the pad, your butt can hit the ground, or when you're on your side, your hips and or your shoulders can hit the ground potentially. And also you lose R factor. The more air you let out, the less warm a pad is. So yeah, these are all things to take into consideration. So I've been playing around on all three mats, and let's see, I'll just go lay on some of these. I'm not sure how noisy, but, if you can hear how accurate the sound will be. But these are not the Thermarest Neolite pads, which are apparently like paper chip bags, really crinkly sound. They all have sound. But this guy is like one of the most quiet pads, I think, from all of the ratings. And I can vouch for that. This pad is a little louder. Then when you just roll on it, it's not bad. And then this one is super quiet. I mean, when you're rolling, and it's super soft. The fabric, and it stretches a little. The top fabric is a stretchy, kind of a stretchy polyester, so it has more give. I let some air out of this one. I let some air out of mine, the Nemo Tensor, but I did let air out of the Helix, but then my hip was touching the ground, so I filled that all the way up. But the Helix has these pillows, this type of, I forget what the pattern is, but anyway, so you really don't need to let the air out of that. It's already really, it's very soft, even at its firmest. Material sounds. So, and that's inaccurate. Let's see. You can hear it's kind of crinkly. All right, so anyway, there's that little bit of a test. So really quiet. Yeah, okay. So these are the pads, what? And then the weights, 1.3 ounces, 1.10 ounces. They're both 3 inch pads. I don't understand why this one is so heavy, but yeah, and this one is only 4 more ounces than this one. This is 1.14 ounces, almost 2 pounds for this big guy. Super comfortable, and I'm only 5'10" and 150 pounds or 60 pounds, and so I'm good with the 3 inch pad, I think. But if somebody's heavier, if they're like 175 or 200 or over, I think, the thicker pad is going to be the most comfortable pad. I think that people will bottom out with a heavier weight, or just won't be quite as comfortable because it's not as thick, and you're going to have to really keep those tight. And the pillows, I just got this one, but this guy is kind of noisy compared to the what is this guy? The Philo Nemo Philo Elite Luxury, which I love. Now it's a little thin. That's why I got this guy. This guy's 5 inches thick though. This guy's 5 inches thick versus 3 inches thick. But I have a net gaiter that I put over this and with an elastic cord, so it keeps it on the pad, and then I can stuff my puffy into it and raise it up. I haven't really experienced I haven't really tried. I have stuffed some things in there, but I think the last couple of times I either forget or I'm too lazy or whatever, and I don't do it. Well, it feels perfect when you're on your back with the 3 inch pad for me, but when you're on your side, then your head is too low, and then I get a neck ache. This guy is this pillow is a little too high, and so I let some air out. But when I let some of the air out, it became more noisy. So anyway, let's see, that's at 7 minutes. There are the stuffed sacks for the Nemo, and this guy's really slippery, this Sil Poly stuff. Not good. When you're trying to like squeeze it and push air in it, it's like really almost dangerous. But anyway, and then this is the super huge in comparison, the larger pump sack for that. And yeah, so what, level ground, and of course they're all air pads, so make sure that I sleep, I always use a piece of Tyvek under my Dyneema tent to make sure that, to help make sure that nothing pokes the bottom and pierces, and puts a hole in the pad, and then you wake up on the ground during the night. I've never had an issue. I also, scour the ground and make sure that with my hands, all acorns and pokey holly leaves and pine needles and sticks, rocks, any other debris are not on the ground. Or if they are, I'll lay on my Tyvek and see if anything pokes through. That stuff's pretty bomb-proof though. And then the other aspect is of key importance, your sleeping bag or your quilt. And I've started with 2 great sleeping bags, down sleeping bags. One's a Feathered Friends. What is that? A puffin, so it's extra roomy. It's also kind of heavy, and because of the extra room, it's a little more space to heat up with your body heat. But it is very warm, 20-degree bag, and comfortable because it's super wide. But it's a mummy bag, just like the other Western Mountaineering VersaLite 10-degree bag that I have, which is also not quite as roomy. It's a little lighter, and it's also like 950 down. I think it's 1.5 pounds versus 2 pounds. But they both, when you roll over in a mummy sleeping bag, your face goes into the bag, and then you introduce moisture into the bag, which apparently makes for a colder sleep. Plus, you kind of like, I don't know if you could suffocate, but it's not that comfortable. So inevitably, I just cinch up the mummy until you've got a little breathing hole, but it's you're breathing cold air still. So I got these. This one is Timmermade. Dan Timmerman makes this, and it's a down balaclava like you can get anywhere, a lot of places. And that's a key importance to keep your head warm. But this is why I got it. And this is a piece of a synthetic material. It's dry climate shield. It's climate shield, and you can cinch this closed, and it's a little claustrophobic feeling at first. But anyway, you can cinch that virtually closed or all the way closed, and your breath can still, escape. And this space, you breathe warm air through the night. So boom, problem solved there. And then this is the Ukrainian equivalent. And I ordered also the rock front. What is that guy? Focus on there. Anyway, it's a 350 Pro Ultra Light. It's not quite as light as the Enlightened Equipment 20 degree Revelation 900 downfill, but it also has a sheet and pillowcase. The sheet goes over your pad. Pillowcase is attached to the sheet, and then their quilt zips up on the sheet, so you'll have no drafts. So I've only tried it in 50 degree weather. I'm super excited to try it out. It has a comfort rating of down to 36. And the Enlightened Equipment I love, but it's so light, and I got the wide. So when you roll over, your shoulder doesn't raise up the quilt and introduce drafts on the sides. And I still get some drafts. I've tried a couple different variations, and I've tightened the edges out on the two straps. I've tightened them up so it keeps it down and like really well. But I don't know if I'm just a fidgety sleeper or what. But sometimes I can feel the cold, especially if I only sleep in a t-shirt and boxers. But if on a cold night like 25, 30 degrees, I switched to sleeping, although I would prefer to wear nothing or less, t-shirt and shorts, or maybe just shorts. But then you have to get up and pee, then you got to put on all the clothes. So I just you know what, this is better to sleep in a long sleeve top and bottom. And when I do that with my Alpha Direct fleece, I don't feel the drafts as much, or maybe at all, because I've got an insulating layer. So that's another little secret, I guess, that I've discovered. But yeah, this one's a little thinner. This one's really thicker with insulation. It's a little hotter. But it also has the climate shield, and it also has these straps which go under your armpits. So cool design, really awesome. I don't think it gets any better. You breathe warm air through the night, and then you make your decision. 450. I think this was 375. It only took 10 days to get from the Ukraine. Awesome guys. And what? I should set that up so you see what it looks like. I have 13 minutes on here. What can I do? Put it back in the shoe? What's the limit? I did a 40-minute video and it just wouldn't load, man. I couldn't even load it to the cloud. I couldn't get it to leave my phone. So that was really not cool. 40 minutes of gabbing, unscriptedness. So yeah, only one color. It's gray on the top and a nice hunter orange on the bottom. Nice color scheme though, orange and gray. Here's the sheet and the pillowcase, and it's got a little elastic cord, so it can fit. Some pads, I don't know what pads it does or doesn't fit. I know it does fit this one. They said that it wouldn't fit when I read on the website. I read an article. Somebody asked if did I do something wrong? Maybe it's inside out. Yeah. Somebody asked if the Neo Loft would fit, and they said it doesn't. So I was going to see if it fit, but I don't really think I like it. It's a super comfortable pad, but it's just so bulky in size when you roll it up. To try to fit it in a super small pad would be very difficult, I think. Something is up there with a couple little straps, and that's it. Okay, there you go. There's that. And I forget which. It's got a cinch up, 900 fill, comfort rated to 36 degrees, limit, survival, I guess, 25 degree. Size large, made in Ukraine. Yeah, great quality component. I think it's a 10 denier. You know, they don't do 7s in here as far as I know yet, but yeah, this was a little tricky. I remembered it's kind of let's see, it's a little different, a little different setup. I mean, I haven't experienced a. I don't think anybody else makes a zip-on type thing. Okay, well, there's that. It's a little snaggy, but you know, not too bad. And you just kind of, because the fabric's kind of loose. Boom. So there's that side, and then they kind of do a little overlap here, which is, you know, an interesting design. And you can cinch it up as far as, you know, having an open box. And I don't know how effective. Let's see, where is it? Kind of hard. It's a strange zipper. Let's see. And I haven't played with it, used it in a couple of months since it's been 50 degrees. And there we go. There. That goes quick. And you can leave it, you know, attached. I just took it off because I think it was hot, or I forget what. But okay. There's that, and it cinches up. Oh yeah, where's the pillow? Boom. Got the little pillow pocket, and you just, where's the, you come in from the top. There we go, I forget. Come in from the top, and, oh, I don't know if I've tried it with this, have I? Yeah, I did. I know he fit, Justin, the Canadian, fit this guy in there. I think it was super large, man. But yeah, there you go. And the zipper comes all the way up to your neck, basically. And it's got a nice draft tube at the neck. A nice elastic cord. Boom, look at that setup. And then cold weather, you come and you tuck in the draft tube down here and cinch that. And there it is. And it's definitely roomy inside. You know, you can turn it over, you feel like you're in your bed at home. Just like the other thing, except this one, I think this one's lighter. It's definitely less expensive too. You know the one I'm talking about, where they've got the Zen Bivy, where they've got the little attachment clips. I'm like, no, zipper. I mean, I think the other is just as effective. It just costs more, like I think a lot more. And it may be heavier. I forget what this is. I think it's like 24 ounces, 25 ounces. But yeah, this is, and you can stuff this, and then you don't need an elastic strap either. Okay, I think that's my time, 17 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was educational, informative is the word I was looking for. And I'm going to post this. This is my first YouTube video. I did 3 other shorts. And I didn't know that, hey, 2 minutes, you can't make a YouTube video. It has to be longer than 2 minutes. So this is longer than 2 minutes. Now I'm going to post this. And I thought the others were my worst video. I think this is, it was a little practice, not quite scripted, but yeah, it's a creative project, and I hope you guys liked it. And yeah, please leave comments, and that'll be fun.